Communications office. So as we did last year, we want to talk a little bit about what each of the functional areas does before we introduce their budget information. So communications office is responsible for our digital presence, social media, internal and external spotlights, communication, proactive community engagement, brand strategy, and media relations. So these are all really important ways that we are able to get the positive things out about what we do in Newburgh. There are 2 staff in the communications office. Their budget proposal for next year does include the continuation of the public relations consultants, so that's a year-over-year increase of just under $68,000 when you include the contractual salary increases. Ms. Holder is going to present human resources.
So the goal of the Human Resource Department is to create one single point of contact for employees in schools. And we do this by addressing things such as recruitment, compensation, performance and career management, certification and licensures, and supporting board policy compliance. What we continue to do, as well as reporting analytics, administering our collective bargaining contracts, employee discipline, labor management. We address employee attendance, benefits administration, unemployment, and workers' compensation. Our current staffing consists of the assistant soup, human resource generalist, analyst, 3 principal typists, 1 typist that's vacant, a part-time clerk, and a health benefits specialist. Our overall budget is $1,353,704, and that has increased by $541,894. I will note that we have 3 new human resource positions from the 25-26 school year and 1 new position, part-time position for the 25-26 school year, and also the purchasing of software to streamline our systems.
Okay, so next we're going to talk about the business office. We process employee payroll, we do all of the district's procurement and ensure our vendors are paid. We have the tax collection process. All the district accounting is done there. State reporting, we facilitate the mandated external and internal audits every year, as well as develop and manage the budget. So our functional areas include payroll, where there are 4 staff. Accounts payable has 3. Purchasing has the purchasing agent, who also serves as a school business administrator and a clerk. Tax collection includes the tax collector, as well as 4 part-time cashiers. And then we have 4 individuals who do accounting, 2 of whom are in the Treasury office. Our proposed budget in the business office for next year is $2.04 million, which is an increase year over year of just over $80,000. That does include an increase in our fiscal agent fees, as we know we're going to be continuing to issue debt as we complete the capital projects and start some of the ones that the community has authorized. It does also fund all of the mandatory audits, including the claims audit function. So our transportation department, they are responsible for providing safe and efficient transportation of all our students to and from school. They process alternative bus stop requests, ensuring compliance with federal and state laws. They support our athletics program and field trips for our students, as well as addressing questions and concerns from parents. And they do provide school bus safety training for K-2. Some fast facts. Right now, the district is served by 5 different bus companies for our principal transportation. They make over 470 round trips to more than 100 schools in and out of the district every single day. Students can live up to 50 miles from their school of attendance, and our buses travel approximately 2 million miles a year. This is an overview of some of those transportation details. So you'll see our in-district busing has dropped just over 1%, but we've seen an increase in our special transportation both in and out of district. We have also seen a decrease in our private or non-public transportation. The Transportation Office has 4 staff, including our coordinator, assistant coordinator, and 2 clerical support positions. Their proposed budget for next year is $28.57 million. I want to note that that does include an increase in field trips, as well as an increase in special education transportation, and funding for some digital buses associated with the opening of the new CTE building. Mr. Stackman is going to help present the Facilities Department.
Okay. Let me see if I can put it back in. All right. All right, good evening. Our department oversees the full daily operation of every district building, ensuring clean, safe, and functional spaces for students and staff. Our grounds team maintains all outdoor spaces year-round, handling snow removal, mowing, field lining, tree and shrub care, and playground upkeep. On the maintenance side, just to go back to, sorry, there you go. On the maintenance side, our skilled trade staff, combined with plumbers, HVAC techs, electricians, painters, locksmiths, and masons, complete most of the work orders in-house. Okay. Our department is responsible for nearly 1.94 million square feet of building space and more than 294 acres of grounds across the district. Our facilities range from buildings nearly 100 years old to those expanded or updated as recently as 2023. This variety creates unique challenges. Older buildings demand more repairs, while larger campuses require more custodial maintenance support. Staffing is allocated based on building size and usage, with the largest facilities like NFA Main and South Middle School needing the biggest teams. On the ground side, campuses such as Heritage and Meadow Hill have extensive acreage that requires year-round care, and this data shows the true scale of our operation and helps illustrate why our staffing, supply, and equipment needs continue to grow with the district. Here you see our staffing graph for our maintenance side. And here is our staffing graph for our custodial side. Over here we got 2 pie charts. The left pie chart shows our type of work orders, and that the majority of our work orders, about 85%, are true maintenance requests, and the remaining 15% are delivery and pickup requests. And on the right side, we have the status of work orders, and this chart shows the completion performance. About 78% of all work orders are completed, 18% are in progress or assigned, and only a very small portion, about roughly 4% combined, are canceled or declined. This chart shows the total number of work orders generated by each building. As you see, NFA Main has the highest volume at 477, which makes sense given its size, age, and the complexity of its systems. Gidney Avenue and the BOE Library follow with over 250 work orders each. So we can move ahead. Do you want to talk on this, or I can do it as well?
So here is the operations proposed budget for next year. I'm not tall enough. Their proposed budget is just over $17 million, and this does reflect adjustments in our utility bills, as well as contractual salary increases and some increases in supplies as we continue to expand our footprint next year. There are 2 budget staffing requests for the department. One is for a chief custodian that does PM shift. We need to have some PM supervision to oversee all of the cleaning that's happening in our buildings after hours. And the other one is for a technician that would handle the fire, burglar alarms, our lighting, and building management systems as we continue to expand the use of those systems and the modernization of those systems. We're looking to have someone who's dedicated to maintaining and managing them. Mr. Sager is going to present on our student safety and security. I do want to note that you're going to see a list of a number of items that are being requested. Some of those items might be recommended for funding this year. We're also looking at other sources of funds that may support some of these asks as we look at improving our student safety and security.
Good evening, everyone. So the mission of the school safety and security monitors is to foster a safe and supporting learning environment. And we do this through positive relationships, upholding district policies. We work collaboratively with the school leaders, and we really do support the school's commitment to excellence and the success of the whole child. We recognize that the safety is the foundation to the learning, and we proudly serve as partners in advancing the district's educational mission. The way that we do this is through combining our vigilance, professionalism, relationship building, and collaboration to prevent incidents before they happen, respond effectively when they do happen, and support a safe and equitable learning environment each and every day. We do this through consistency, communication, a lot of training. One of the big things that you see and ask for is in technology this year, is to improve our technology and hold the guards accountable for every day in every building to the safe and secure building and learning environment. So currently, our staffing is over 100 individuals that provide safety and security, and it's broken down into two different senior or monitors that are basically our managers, administrative, which means they're doing a lot of training, video presentations, drilling, keeping our emergency management up, and then the other side of it is operational, and that is to support the personnel that are in each building. 7 senior monitors also supervise the buildings, and it's broken down as you see up here. We're a lot of different schools, over 15 campuses, 16 to be coming online, so I'll be asking for that, I'm sure. Our safety and security budget, this year we're looking for an increase of $248,000. As we go through the list, you'll see why I've asked for a little bit more money than last year, but the overall budget last year was $6,176,587, and next year I'm asking for $6,450,552. I might be asking for a little bit more. I don't know where the rest went. So one of the big things that we're looking for in this budget is this year you approve 3 what I call weapons detection systems, consisting of the AI metal detectors and AI backpack scanners. They work as one system. There was some hiccups in the beginning of the year with funding just because some things weren't funded to bring our systems on place earlier. But we do have the funding now, and we are going to be ordering those hopefully very soon. And so next year I'm asking to increase. We're going to pilot in one building this year, and next year I'm asking to go ahead and put them in the rest of the high schools, as we see. One of the things that we are looking for, there's been 2 20-year-old golf carts, and I'm not going to go through every single one, but that would patrol the area outside. They're over 20 years old, and they don't work, and it's pretty cold in the winter, so I'm looking to find something that's enclosed and will be visible. So me, visibility is very important, and I'm trying to increase the visibility of our safety and security monitors as they're out there. We have old cameras that haven't been replaced in several years. They're actually causing us a problem with our servers, so I'm asking to start a replacement program in there. One of the things I identified also was that we don't really have great signage. This year I started renting some signage to give the community a heads up when we were holding large events. So next year I'm asking to purchase some trailer signs so that we can put them out there at different events at different schools to give the public an idea where they're going, and also alert others that we're going to be holding events at these schools. Looking to increase our technology with AI overlay, meaning that it'll send us alerts when things are happening. People leave backpacks around, leave doors open, even weapons detection, license plate reading, all of that. It would be included in our AI overlay if that was to be funded. One of the things that's a huge, which I'm working with the finance to possibly do this year, is our district-wide radio system, which has not worked properly in some of our buildings. I know a few years ago you approved some new radios, only to find out that our wireless and our cellular systems at the different schools was not the best, so they're not accurate there. I have been asked by the towns and the city of Newburgh to possibly implement a school resource program, which is different than our sheriff's deputies coming in. So there's an ask for that also. I recognize that's extremely expensive, and I'm willing to negotiate. Light tower rentals and signature signage for schools, again, just a budget because I do not have anything in my budget to rent those signs when we have events. Thank you.
I'm going to offer one clarification. There was funding in the budget, but the estimate that was provided for those items in last year's budget development process didn't cover all of the costs that we recognized as it went to be implemented this year with our new Director of Safety and Security. So as we go into our next steps, we're going to continue to review our programmatic staffing needs and requests, the retirements and vacancies, and grant-funded positions. We are paying close attention to see if any adjustments in funding become anticipated at the federal level as well. We know that that would have a significant impact. We will be continuing the program reviews, including our special education continuum, any new curricular mandates, and continue to flesh out the programs over at CTE to identify the staffing that may be necessary there. And we will be submitting the tax cap calculation by March 1st. Next meeting is February 24th. At that meeting, you're going to hear from Curriculum and Instruction, the Exceptional Learners, our Student Support Services Division, as well as Data and Technology. So that will be a very robust presentation with a lot of information. Questions?
So just one question. You had mentioned in the beginning that $8 million was unassigned fund balance. Was that $8 million used to appropriated fund balance for this school year that we're in?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, I
Magic
heard.
microphone.
So, is it, the way it's written now, is it 6 million that's going to be planned on using in this budget for next year's budget?
Yes.
Okay, yes again. Thank you.
Mr. Barbarella. Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. Real two quick questions. HR software, we're doing new software. The 172,000 plus, is that a one-time purchase for the software, or is that the annual licensing?
So it's both. It's the first-time implementation and the year-over-year cost to have the programming.
It'll be that same dollar amount thereabouts?
Just about.
So I want to note that that 172 is not totally related to that software. There's other increases in there as well, including civil service fees, some of the annual HRMS software fees. It's not all attributed to the new software.
Okay, thank you.
Regarding the HR and the $500,000, I've mentioned that the students are our customers, the faculties are our customers. What would they expect for the $500,000, specific to the software for their experience working for us or going to school here?
So it would streamline onboarding, recruiting, hiring, and it would make our attendance process more efficient.
So currently, we have paper timesheets for much of our attendance, and that
Yes.
would be shifting over to a more digital format?
Right, and it would make the work more efficient for the people in the department, efficient for the district, and that benefit of resources would go directly to students.
Okay, thank you.
And some of the software purchases will also allow for there to be employee self-service around certain areas. So that's also a big benefit to staff to be able to kind of look at their aspects of their personnel file digitally.
I do want to note in there, because I think part of the underlying question is around electronic timesheets, and that is part of the financial software, our HRMS system. It's not part of the new HR software. So we are also looking at that implementation and how to go to an electronic sign-in, sign-out, and timesheet rather than the paper timesheet process that we have now.
Okay, thank you. You had also mentioned on revenue assumptions decline noticeably in the interest earnings, a significant decline. Is that due to our reserves being spent down?
It's due to our reserves now benefiting from their own interest earnings. So what has been done in many districts, including Newburgh, is that the interest earnings on those reserve balances were brought into the general fund as revenue to help offset our expenses each year. It has been recommended that those interest earnings for each of the reserves now be given or attributed to that reserve, increasing that reserve balance. So the reason for the decrease is that we can no longer benefit in the general fund from the interest earnings on the reserves. The reserves themselves will increase based on their own interest earnings.
Okay, thank you. And for Mr. Sackman, maintenance grounds has a total of 7 people, but you reference close to 300 acres of property that we have to maintain. So I certainly don't want to hire people where we don't need to, but is that correct staffing for that sort of acreage?
I think we currently have, does that include the one vacancy we have? I don't think it includes the vacancy. We have one vacancy that we're currently hiring for. Not to say that that covers that much more, but we have a system, and we're working on it, and if there's anything inefficient, we'll look to add. So,
Okay.
thank you.
We have also invested in the maintenance equipment, and I know one of the items that we're collaborating with the athletics department on pertains to what they call as a painting robot that actually lines all of our fields, which is a significant time saver, and it also produces more accurate results. So we're looking at those opportunities as well.
All right, thank you. Mr. Levinstein, go ahead, please.
So you, in the items you presented tonight, you did a great job where if there's something was extremely, a large increase or a drop in cost, you put a note so we understand why it is. Maybe they hired people or things were transferred. So when we get to do the next one, which is going to be substantial dollar amounts, and if that kind of procedure could be done with that, I mean, it may make us understand more, and I know it's going to be tricky, curriculum and instruction and student support services. I know that's going to be hard, but if you can somehow, if it's a substantial gain or reduction, that there's some kind of notice why, notation why.
Yes, I'm working with each of the division leads. I'm preparing that presentation for you, and we will certainly be offering those explanations as well as any budgetary requests that they have.
Thank you.
Howard, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. My question is for Mr. Sager. So, Mr. Sager, understanding your safety background and the years of service you had in the industry, do you feel our buildings are adequately staffed from a security standpoint? And the only reason I'm asking this question, because this is the time to have that conversation around security and manpower, but bigger than that, to me, safety is one of the most important things for our students, for our staff, for everyone. Do we have our buildings properly staffed from a numbers perspective?
I'd say we're working really hard to use what we have. Certainly, more people allow us to do more things, but it also becomes more intrusive. So it's a balance, right? You want to balance the fact that you're not, being overly watched and you're coming and learning. So I think our way to go in this coming year, minus the CTE building, is to increase our technology. See where that takes us, see if we can, possibly use them more efficiently with the technology that we've been offered or I've offered in my budget. So the question is, certainly I'll always take more people, and we can always find things to make the places more secure with people. Maybe, getting students in the morning in more efficiently, but again, we're hoping that technology also increases some of that right now. So that's the angle I'm going with, is our technology first, and then look at it and see if we need to increase our staff.
Thank you.
I'll just comment on that, because I know you had mentioned the cameras, and I'm in favor of as many people as we need, but you kind of breeze through the cameras, but the technology with the cameras that you mentioned, that could identify a book bag that's been there for 2 minutes, it could identify people that are walking maybe in the wrong place. It's incredible what they could do, so they really give you eyes all over every facility from a central location, which I think you had mentioned, some sort of command center.
Yes,
In there,
the
too.
command center obviously would be something that was I believe, recommended 3 or 4 years ago in a study, and it was supposed to be implemented, it would have been the third year, this year or last year. So that is something that's in the budget, is for that center. So we have a one place to shop. In other words, everybody can call in if something's going on. We can do our IDs there. We can have a AI overlay with cameras viewed throughout. And even, you know, as we've talked about, social media coverage over our buildings, you can also do now through certain systems that we can also get. So we'd have one place that can monitor all of the schools in some capacity and help when we have shortages, help when we have something going on that we want to keep an eye on. So I think that's extremely important for the budget.
Thank you.
I just also want the community to know, because I know the use of AI, especially within our buildings, and privacy is something that me and Mr. Sager are speaking about specifically, because with camera recognition and student privacy around AI images, so we started to have those conversations to really ensure that we have our students' safety in that way covered, and that we are in compliance with NECSD regarding the use of AI within our schools. So there's going to be certain aspects that he's researching that will benefit us in terms of proximity and perimeter monitoring, but the internal we're researching now.
So I just want to add to that really quickly, and if I leave anything out, please. Mr. Sager and I met with vendors recently, and we have more meetings scheduled, and we're looking very detailed at that technology, and they actually don't have the capacity to do the facial recognition the same way in the interior of the building because it isn't permissible. So that's not even an option for us to access. So I did want to note that in case that is a point of concern. That isn't actually anything that we can acquire. They don't offer it.
And just one of the things the AI does offer is that we can blur images. We spend an awful lot of time viewing our images in our camera system for different events. The AI would help tremendously. And not only that, if we were to blur the images, maybe we could actually show it sooner than we have been.
I just want to add to the presentation a little bit. So one of the comments was made is that we have some of these older cameras, and then on the other hand, we talked about the fact that we want to upgrade and do some of these newer features. And I wanted to make the point that when you have older systems that you need to support, you can't update your controller. You need to be able to support your oldest equipment. So one of the reasons for updating the older cameras, they still work, but they will prohibit us from doing the kind of leaps that we want to do. So when Mr. Sager talked about updating his cameras, I wanted to kind of put it in context that it is important, not just for the sake of replacing them, but also for the fact that it'll enable us to make these advancements.
To dovetail with that, they have commented directly to us that, you know, every 4 or 5 years, the technology has advanced so much, we really need to be on that cycle of replacement.
Understood, thank you.
And as you can see, all hands are on deck about this safety project regarding what is going to be the best system that we can afford and we can maintain. And it's something that we're really taking a close eye at because we want our students to feel safe and we want our staff to have an efficient system that makes sense.
Thank you. That begs the question, are we looking at other districts that may have implemented something already? Okay.
Yes, we've been reviewing, just like we did with the weapons detection systems, all of the other districts to see what they're using and what they're starting. Some are about the same as we are, and some are a little bit more advanced, but either way, we're going to be learning from them.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for an excellent presentation,
Thank you, Mr.
along
Duray.
with everybody that helped present. Thank you very much. All right, that closes the budget workshop. We're going to move into executive session. Be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby recesses into executive session for the following purpose: matters made confidential under FERPA, matters leading to the employment of particular employees or corporations, employment history of employees or corporations, collective bargaining under the Taylor Law, and to obtain advice from legal counsel. Can I get a motion and a second for executive session?
So moved.
Roll call, Ms. Thomasina Bello,
Yes.
Ms. Boucher, Mr. Bergarelli,
Yes.
Ms. Burks,
Yes.
Mr. Duray,
Yes.
Mr. Howard,
Yes.
Mr. Levinstein,
Yes.
Ms. Politi,
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello.
Yes.
Thank you. We appreciate your patience. Thank you. We are back in public session, and it's time for the Pledge of Allegiance, tonight led by Tina Wang.
standing for a moment of silence. Okay, please be seated.
Thank you. All right, before we move on to public comment, I have a couple of comments I'd like to share, all of them positive. First, we'll do our mission statement. The Newburgh Enlarged City School District mission is to educate and empower their students to build the future and support their community. That's followed by our vision statement. The Newburgh Enlarged City School District vision is to create voice, choice, and opportunity for impacting the future of all Goldbacks. And I'll give you an example of that. There was a curriculum meeting prior to this meeting, and it was really an excellent meeting. I wish it had gone on a little bit longer and that we'd got some more details. But when we talk about choice and opportunity, part of the meeting was on new courses that are coming out for our students. And it's just fascinating to listen to. I'll just give you a sampling. African American Studies. This one blows me away. Front Page Heroes, Exploring Sports Through Literature and Reporting. Now, when we were in school, no one offered us exploring sports and literature. They just told you, read this and go home and tell us about it. So we're giving kids a choice. For our CTE, Intro to Vet Tech, plus Vet Tech, we've never had a plumbing course. Intro to Plumbing, World Literature, Guitar 1 and 2, Humanities. So it's an incredibly diverse group of new courses that people have worked very hard on to introduce into our system. These will be beginning September of this year, September of '26, along with opening the CTE building. So the vision statement is not just something that you could read. It is a legitimate vision that we have for the students in this community. A couple other things. Being in business a long time, you learn that money is not the only thing that motivates people. As a matter of fact, in most surveys, money is 3 or 4. Number 1 is generally recognition. So along those lines, on January 30th, Mr. Sager put together a recognition dinner for some people who may not get all the appreciation they deserve, and they deserve a lot, which is our school monitor staff. And it was just a fantastic evening. And there was awards given out for things like finding things in backpacks. Tyreek Johnson got several awards and recognition for saving multiple students' lives. It's just a really nice evening, and I think they appreciated it very much. We had about 65 people there. We have plans next year for an even larger event at a larger venue. And so that went on, and thank you to Mr. Sager and everybody that was there to support him. This one is, sometimes emails come across, and they're worth the read. So this was to Mr. Herrera from Zach Williams, a history teacher and also a swimming coach and a lacrosse coach. So this came across on February 7th. I wanted to recap and give thanks to all parties for last night's Orange County Interscholastic Athletic Association meet hosted by NFA Maine. We had 400-plus athletes, coaches, spectators, and officials attend last night. By all accounts, it was a great success. Mr. Hayes and our security team handled entry by teams and spectators flawlessly. Mr. Foster went to great efforts to make sure our facility was primed and ready to go for a league championship event. This included safely getting teams into main campus for warm-ups during normal school day and running a varsity boys basketball event simultaneously. I had almost all coaches, officials, and many parents express how thankful and impressed they were with our operations, and I thought it was important to relay that message to proper people. They were impressed with us. That's pretty good. We have become known, it's my favorite sentence in this, as a premier host location within the local swimming community, and it is mostly because of our security and custodial efforts. Once again, thank you so much for your help and support in planning this event, and a special thank you to Mr. Foster, Mr. Hayes, Mr. Sager, Go Goldbacks, Zach Williams, and Dave Doolin. So, excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you. We're going to move on to public comment now on agenda items.
First person signed up for public comment on agenda items is Ms. Tracy Wallace.
Probably here. Wasn't it Lola last time? No. Okay. Good evening. Sorry. Good evening. My name is Tracy Wallace. I'm speaking as a community member, not as a representative of my employer. I am speaking on agenda item 13 under the Assistant Superintendent for Exceptional Learners. The placement of students with disabilities must remain a top priority in our district. When the board arranges, when the district arranges for a placement based on CSE and CPSE recommendations, those decisions shape a child's academic progress, independence, and long-term outcomes. Placement is not just a procedural requirement, it is a life-impacting decision. I respectfully request clarity from the Exceptional Learners Department on the district's, I'm sorry? Okay. I respectfully request clarity from the Exceptional Learners Department on the district's goals and priorities regarding placement. What measurable outcomes are being tracked to ensure students are thriving in those placements? Additionally, regarding Resolution 3.2, authorizing the agreement with Everway LLC for unique learning system, new to you and symbolistic. I support tools that enhance instruction. However, transparency is essential. Families deserve to understand what these programs are, how they will be used in classrooms, how would they align with the students' goals, and how will the district measure their impact. The investment of $21,691.49 is significant. Parents should clearly understand what their children are learning, how these tools support their growth, and how success will be defined. Transparency and cost understanding are not criticisms, they are partnerships. When families understand placement decisions and instructional tools, they can better support exceptional learners at home and in the community. Our children deserve thoughtful placement, measurable goals, and open communication. Thank you.
Mr. David Ryan.
Good evening, President DeRay, members of the board. If you don't know by now, my name is David Ryan, and I reside in the town of Newburgh. I'm a parent of a student, a taxpayer, and someone that really cares about this district. I'm here to speak on agenda items, specifically 8.1, approval of the January 28th, 2026 minutes. This is a process and records integrity comment, not a personal attack. Before item 8.1 is approved, I respectfully ask the board to do two simple things. Either amend the January 28th minutes tonight or table them one meeting for correction. Direct written guidance on viewpoint neutral public comment, enforcement, and escalatory security practice at the podium. Why is this important? Minutes are the official institutional record. They are what families, staff, council, and pro se, and the public rely on later. If a material event affecting public participation is missing, the record is incomplete and confidence drops. On January 28th, during agenda item public comment, Trustee Letitia Politi said, quote, "Point of order. There were also religious and biblical quotes and Torah quotes. There were a whole slew of violations." Immediately after, the security approached the podium unprovoked while I was still speaking. I left before the final comment period as a direct result. That intervention had a chilling effect on protected public comment. I left embarrassed, mortified, and disgusted because what occurred felt like anti-Semitic conduct being institutionally tolerated. Reasonable rules are not the issue. I support time, place, and decorum rules. In fact, I'm man enough to own the fact that I could have been a little bit more respectful over the years. This is an issue of consistency. Rules must be applied evenly without selective content policing. So I'm asking for a narrow, practical correction. Include objective language in the minutes that a point of order was raised concerning religious and biblical references during public comment. Include that security approached the podium during the exchange unprovoked. Include timestamp references to the meeting video so the record is verifiable. If helpful, I'm prepared to submit exact neutral wording to the clerk. This request also aligns with the rest of your agenda, especially accountability and improvement planning. We ask students to value accuracy, fairness, and respect. Respect is a contract. The board can model those same standards here through a complete and balanced record. You don't have to agree with me, because I know you don't, with me on the substance, but you can agree with me that the record should be accurate. And we all saw what happened here, and we all heard what this individual over here said. I'm talking to you, Mr. DeRay. I appreciate the board's time, and I sincerely ask that 8.1 be handled with the standard that I bring to you. A clear record, a clear rule, and a clear roll call vote to see who will stand for an accurate record. I thank you for your time. Thank you for your service. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Ms. Dawn Fuchek.
Good evening, Dawn Fuchek, reside in the town of Newburgh. I'll be very brief tonight, speaking on Resolution 6.3 and 6.4. Thank you once again for your transparency and sharing this information with our community. I'd like to ask whether the district has returned to the school improvement cycle that includes monitoring the implementation of the district comprehensive improvement plan and each of the school's comprehensive education plans. In the past, the district has provided updates at the beginning of the year, mid-year, and at the end of the year to ensure that these plans were being implemented effectively and to celebrate successes. I believe that those updates were valuable, and I hope that that practice will continue. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's nobody else signed up to speak on agenda items. If you would like to speak on agenda items, please come to the podium. Okay, moving on to non-agenda items. Ms. Christine Bello.
Good evening, Mr. President, board members, Dr. Campbell, and staff. I am Christine Bello, but I am speaking tonight as a taxpayer, a business owner, and a homeowner who pays hefty taxes in this district. I read the comptroller's audit, and what I read was not a minor issue. It was a fundamental breakdown in financial management. And as a taxpayer, I'm beyond concerned that this was allowed to happen. The audit shows the district appropriated fund balance it did not need. It made it appear it needed more money than it actually did. And it moved millions of dollars in ways that were not transparent to the public. These are not technical oversights. These are failures that misled the taxpayers. Meanwhile, families were told taxes had to go up. Renters were told by their landlords that they had no choice but to raise rents. Homeowners were told to trust the process, but the process was not trustworthy. The numbers were not accurate. The public was not given the truth. I also want to acknowledge something that makes this even more troubling. As a business owner who operates in this district, I am allowed to speak tonight only because I reside in the district. But many taxpayers who are business owners who operate here but live outside the district lines pay substantial school taxes, and yet they are prohibited from speaking at this podium. I want you to know that they feel the impact of these failures immediately, yet they are barred from publicly questioning the people spending their money. And that exclusion matters, most especially when trust has already been damaged. And when I reviewed the district's official response to the comptroller, I saw it was submitted by our president. Taxpayers deserve clarity about who reviewed, who discussed, and approved that response. Taxpayers have a right to know whose voice they are hearing in an official state audit response, because accountability depends on knowing who actually authored and approved it. So I have 3 questions that any taxpayer would ask. First, when will taxpayers see the excess fund balance returned through reduced future levies? Secondly, did the response to the comptroller reflect the full board's review, the views of only certain trustees, or was it drafted by executive staff for the president to sign? And third, the audit found the district made it appear it needed more funding than it actually did. After that finding, I am very interested in knowing how you plan to rebuild public trust. I believe that taxpayers deserve competence, honesty, and transparency. And until these questions are answered clearly and publicly, I believe it's going to be very difficult to rebuild public trust. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bello.
Miss Tracy Wallace.
Thanks. Good evening, Tracy Wallace. I'm speaking as a community member, not as a representative of my employer. I'm speaking today regarding the creation of a Special Education Parent-Teacher-Student Association, a SEPSA, for the Newburgh and Large City School District. Our next meeting will be virtual on February 19th at 6:30. I'm working on a location, but not confirmed yet. Hopefully it'll be hybrid. But for now, we have a Zoom, we have a virtual meeting at 6:30. This is an important pre-charter meeting that will require 25 participants. This is important for students with disabilities because they deserve equitable access to education, appropriate supports, and meaningful resources. A SEPSA would bring families, educators, and the broader community together to strengthen collaboration and communication. If you want to join the SEPSA, please contact Tracy Wallace, me, at Wallace, WALLACE, Tracy, TRACY, 992@gmail.com. And my cell phone number is 914-720-9525. Thank you. Hold on, I only got 3 minutes. I did want to ask about, I wanted to thank you for welcoming my daughter for speaking on my not really on my behalf, she spoke. I gave her the comment to speak. I helped her with it. We really got to encourage young people to come up and speak. And I hope that when we do form this SEPSA, that we can encourage our students to come up and speak, not as competitively, but asking real questions. I know that my kids don't know what the board does. I know that there are a lot of kids that don't know what you guys do. And I know you guys go out to the school, but they're in school, they're sitting down, they have to listen to the teacher. And so I think this would be a nice place to maybe a different hour if you can have a kids' board meeting. If you in the future, if you can plan for a kids' board meeting so that you can invite and maybe have different ages for some so that the older students can ask real questions and the younger ones can ask little questions. So I wanted to add that, and I wanted to also, ask about the update on the public meeting, amendment on allowing someone to speak on someone's behalf as a proxy. If somebody has a disability that can't get here, whether it's transportation, which of course I advocate, you're not in charge of our buses, but they do stop at 6:45. It's not your fault. But anyway, our bus system doesn't really help people with disabilities who can't drive, who rely on like paratransit. So, if they have a proxy, or if they have anything to say, or even an older person who just can't get out, if someone really has a disability and really just, just allow that amendment, so that they have a voice as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. David Ryan.
Good evening, President DeRay again, and members of the board. As you know, my name is David Ryan. Not only am I a student of the district, I'm a student's parent, the spouse of a special education teacher, a taxpayer, and a resident in Newburgh, so I get to speak. I'm going to address some non-agenda items. Respect is a contract. It should have been on the agenda a long time ago. 224 days since July 1st without a ratified teacher's contract. Did you hear that, Newburgh? 224 days without a ratified teacher's contract. But who has received contracts? The Director of Finance with lifetime benefits. We just heard about her great performance. Director of Communications with a raise. Your spin doctors, the Donovan Group. Our superintendent, Dr. Manning Campbell, and her attorney got money. Mr. Shaw is getting paid left and right because I keep filing lawsuits. And tonight, finally, the CSA just might get theirs, but not the teachers. Respect is a contract. You talk a good game, but you show our teachers no respect for 224 days and counting. I'm here to ask for governance correction, not conflict. I am respectfully asking for 5 concrete actions. 1, publicly reaffirm viewpoint neutral and religion neutral enforcement of public comment rules. Issue written guidance that point of order cannot be used to selectively police viewpoint content. Require incident logging and evidence preservation when security approaches a speaker, who initiated it, why, and a timestamp. Adopt a board standard against attacking absent public speakers and provide a fair right to respond on record at the next meeting. Provide public timeline for unresolved teacher contract communication until its ratification. These are practical steps. They are measurable, and they can be done now. On January 28th, during agenda item public comment, religious content in my remarks was singled out from the dais. Security then approached while I was speaking and not being disruptive. I left before the final comment period out of disgust. After I left, Mr. Howard addressed my prior comments and reports about his alleged threat and suggested that the public should consider the source. I want to respond calmly and clearly. A decision, you hear me? A decision by law enforcement not to file charges is not the same as factual finding that nothing happened. It means the legal threshold for prosecution was not met on the evidence available. That is different from exoneration. I am not asking this board to decide criminal liability. I'm asking the board to maintain fairness. accuracy, and dignity in its own process. No resident should be publicly discredited in absentia and then denied a fair, structured path for response. Reasonable time, place, manner, those rules are valid. Selective enforcement is not. Public trust depends on consistency. Now to the fiscal content, because this is all connected to credibility and governance. The Office of the State Controller report dated last Friday identified major financial mismanagement from the person that you rehired, including about $87 million in budget to actual variance, about $67 million in year-end budget transfers, and about $41.5 million in unbudgeted operating surplus over multiple years. And yet you eagerly rehired the very individual responsible for these fiscal failures. Those are not small numbers. That's not minding the store. Those are governance failures. And residents are well aware of the special compensation decisions you make, including the Onyx Peterson retroactive pay issue, estimated at roughly $13,000. When one agrees or disagrees on outcome, the pattern people see is selective urgency. Fast for insiders, slow for teachers, slow for residents, slow for trust. So I return to the core point. 24 days without a ratified contract. Respect is a contract. Respect as a contract is not a slogan. Respect is demonstrated through equal enforcement, accurate records, financial discipline, and timely labor resolutions. I'll leave you with one thought from Leviticus 25:17. Do no wrong to one another. You have a problem with the Torah too?
I have a problem with saying names. I have a problem.
That's okay. I don't.
Mr. Ryan, comments this way.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your service. Get on the stick. Take care of our teachers before you take care of all yourselves.
Moving on to 6.1, Superintendent's update.
Thank you so much. So great to see all of you.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Ms. Dawn Fuchek.
Good evening, Dawn Fuchek, Town of Newburgh. Earlier this evening, I attended the Curriculum Committee meeting, and there was very informative discussion regarding the ELA core curriculum, the math curriculum, and the new course request being brought before the board for approval this evening under Resolution 12.2. In the past, items such as these routinely moved from the committee level to the full board meeting agenda so that the community could remain informed about critical, student achievement-focused initiatives. This practice was followed across all board committees, and the work of those committees played a key role in structuring the board meeting agenda in a way that kept the public well-informed on matters of educational importance. Just wondering if there will be any consideration given to returning to this practice and doing those kinds of things regarding the committees in the future. And the last thing I want to speak about is at the last Board of Education meeting, policy regarding public comment was changed to no longer allow public comment on agenda items at the end of the meeting. I'd like to thank the board member who suggested this policy might be revisited at a later time. Tonight's agenda is a perfect example of why public comment at the end of the meeting is important. Under the superintendent section of the agenda this evening, there are several presentations directly related to student achievement. I believe it is critical for the community to have the opportunity to speak on these important topics, particularly when there may be questions or feedback specific to the presentations. Under the current policy, the public is not able to comment after seeing the presentations and hearing the board's discussion. I respectfully ask that this policy be reconsidered in the future and/or that allowances be made to suspend that portion of the policy at certain meetings, such as this one. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Sarah Maida, Town of Newburgh. I'll be quick. So I just wanted to actually ask the board a question, or if the board could educate the public on something. So the issue of business owners having a say on school budgets and school boards has come up in several meetings. We have a board member who spoke during public comment on this. I'm just wondering, I don't know if the appropriate person is the district council, but I'm wondering if somebody could educate the public and perhaps this board member on what the public policy arguments are against doing that. Because I think it's pretty well settled, and I think it would be helpful for everybody to understand that. So thanks.
Thank you.
I'm going to read this. I'm Enene Williams, city resident, retired teacher of the Newburgh Enlarged City School District. Go back, also a parent of 2 graduates of the Newburgh Enlarged City School District, and I can go on and on. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hopes bringing high, still I rise. We are in the celebration of African American history. I sit in this room because I care. I am so disappointed by impaired people. Impairment fogs your brain, it messes with your mind, you cannot think straight, you cannot visualize straight. Because somehow, somewhere, those who once led in this room have forgotten how they led. I want to thank, and I will continue to tell you, do not be distracted and do not be disrupted. Please keep your focus and go forward. We are happy for the transparency, for the accomplishments, for the stepping into a mess that was left under impaired leadership. Now we are on a road to progress. And so I would like for us to keep in that vein, and I encourage you to do so. I thank you to our president. There's been names repeated over and over again, and let me say this. For those who have to be set down, don't let fear take you. If they have to be set down, they break the rules just like the rest of us. You have to go. If there's no rules, there will be no order. And people will get up and say and do whatever they feel like doing, whenever they feel like doing it. It is a bad example for our students and our community. We are to lead by precept and example. And as these people are sitting in this room, lead us forward. Continue to rise. Silence the naysayers. We've been through all of the questions. They were answered. They were vetted. Now let's move on. And so I encourage you, do not be discouraged and do not be dissuaded. Do not be put in fear. Do what you need to do, because the community who is doing righteously is here to support you. Thank you.
Thank you.
If there's anybody else qualified for the board policy that would like to address the board, please come forward.
I've been informed that the board is exercising an administrative rule that prohibits my speaking at the podium today. Therefore, although I
Sir.
consider it a constitutional
Sir,
violation,
you're not a resident, and you're
the
not allowed
board
to
has
speak.
rules that allow a written submission. The clerk has informed me I would not be called when I asked to be placed on that. Therefore, I am submitting a written comment, which is permissible and required to be accepted under the board's rules.
If it's a written comment, you could leave it for the clerk. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that qualifies under the board policy that would like to address the board on non-agenda items?
All right, moving on to item 6.1, superintendent's update.
Thank you so much. Good evening. I know that I shared this last meeting, but I wanted to share again that I am pleased that the teacher's contract has been settled. We are awaiting ratification by members of the Newburgh Teachers Association. Once that occurs, the signed contract will be shared with our Board of Education for consideration. Next, we will be sharing some exciting information regarding the status of our schools as it relates to the New York State Education Department's accountability system by Dr. Natasha Freeman Mack.
Make sure. Thank you. Good evening. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, good evening.
I'm going to speak a little louder and use my big mouth and my teacher voice just to make sure everyone can hear me. So accountability, and I have to apologize, but I'm going to do it this way so I can make sure that there's an understanding within the community. I'm going to try to speak at a community level and not an educator level so that there's a clear understanding of what accountability is. So tonight we want to share the accountability status of our schools and explain what that really means for our community. In New York State, I'm going to see if I can take this down. In New York State, accountability is simply the way the state measures how schools are implementing academic support for all students to learn, grow, and stay on track to graduate. It's about making sure that every student gets the support they need to be successful. In New York State, accountability serves as the essential framework for the New York State Education Department. It utilizes, there we go. It utilizes a systematically measure the performance of schools and districts. This robust system is designed to ensure that all educational institutions are effectively carrying out their core mission to support students, every single student, to ensure that they learn, they grow, and remain on a successful trajectory towards graduation. Every single student in every single way, all the time. So on that board is the state, this New York State Department of Education's accountability system, more or less. So New York does this by using a federal system called ESSA. Let's talk about ESSA just a little bit, which stands for Every Student Succeeds Act. This law was passed in 2015, and it actually replaced No Child Left Behind. What's important to know is that ESSA looks at more than just test scores. It's not just about a test, because a test is just a single piece of what's happening with a student, and anything could happen that day when an assessment is taken. So it also considers student growth, attendance, graduation rates, readiness for college, career and civic readiness. And the system evaluates multiple indicators, again, not just a test score, to ensure a more complete picture of school quality. It's imperative to note that accountability is not ever based on one single year. So if there is growth in one single year, it does not count toward an accountability status in the state of New York. There needs to be consecutive years. And you're going to hear me say that a few times. So across the state, nearly, I don't know, about 800 school districts are reviewed using these same measures. Over the past 16 years, our district, the Newburgh Large City School District, like many other districts, has had schools identified at different points. This doesn't mean failure. Being a school that is designated accountability does not mean failure, and that's important to understand. It actually means the state is signaling where additional support and focus can help us continue to improve outcomes for students. So let's see what those outcomes are. Hold on a second. Thank you. So this is our current accountability status. So tonight we are proud to share that as a result of 3 years of focused continuous work, our district is seeing some meaningful progress. During this time, we intentionally strengthened data-driven instruction, implemented standard-based assessments, and invested in professional learning that builds strong skills and strategies in literacy and numeracy. Just as important, we benefited from consistent leadership. I'm gonna say that again, consistent leadership, and strong collaborative partnerships among our administrators, our directors, our coaches, yes, our coaches, and teachers, all working together toward one shared goal, student success and supporting the whole child. And tonight, we are excited to celebrate the results of that work. When you see your school, because I know there's some important people in the room, I want you to stand up. So, not one, come on Horizons, if you're here, stand up. Not two. Newburgh Free Academy, all of y'all, stand up. Not 3. Gidney Avenue, stand up. Bombville, stand up. 4, and I'm gonna say this nice and loud for you. 4 of our buildings are in good standing. The fact that 4 of our buildings are in good standing, they join the rest of our schools that are in good standing. This is a testament to a collective commitment of staff and the strength of our school community. So again, and I hope y'all y'all sat down, get back up. Come on. This is what dedication is. And it's not just these people in this room. There's an SLT team, there's directors, there's coaches, there's TOSAs, there's students, there's families, there's teachers. I'm gonna say it again, there's students, there's families, there's teachers, the New York State Department of Education, and our Regional Partnership Center as well. And you'll see that on this slide, but this is what our accountability looks like now. We've got some areas of improvement we're gonna work on, and we'll talk about that in a second, but most of our schools are in good standing. Y'all can sit down, you've totally earned it. So we wanna reiterate, this cannot happen in a single year. I'm gonna say it again. This cannot happen in a single year. We have sustained improvement, and it has to be sustained over consecutive years. So for the first time, so as reported by New York State, for the first time in more than 16 plus years, all, I didn't say some, all elementary schools and both of our K-8 buildings, come September 1st, 2026, are all in good standing. Hello. So, yeah, we have more work to do, absolutely. But as it relates to sustaining and elevating our current performance, I'm going to say it this way. This is just the beginning. We're about to show up, y'all. This is just the beginning. So again, we want to thank and recognize principals, assistant principals, directors, teachers, our instructional coaches, our families and students, our school improvement teams. Every single one of the buildings behind me has a school improvement team. They meet after hours, they meet whenever they need to, they discuss what's going on, they align, they look at data. They are phenomenal. That's what we've been doing, because our students know how to read. So as we must celebrate all of our stakeholders, and we have to do that because we are in this together. It's not one person or one anything, it's a team, it's a village, it's something that we do together. But there's more, right? Let's talk about this. The graduation rate. So, when New York State looks at a school's graduation rate for accountability, it doesn't judge the school based on just 1 year. It can't do that. So instead, the state reviews the graduation rate over a 2-year period. So this is 2024, the class of 2024. And as we look at it, we can see what the graduation rate was. And the graduation rate for Newburgh Free Academy, and then we look at the graduation rate for New York State. So New York State's 85%, that's in the blue. I believe New York Free Academy, what does that say? 70 what? 70 what? 72? Mm-hmm. Says 72, and then the district says 71. Y'all got those numbers, right? Okay. Hold on to them for a minute. So this approach is intentional. Looking at 2 years of data helps smooth out year-to-year fluctuations and provides a more accurate and fair picture of how a school is supporting students to graduation. Sue and Matt, could you get ready to stand up, NFA? Just get ready. So, it recognizes that graduation outcomes are influenced by multiple cohorts and long-term supports, not a single class or a single moment in time. So by using a 2-year review, should I show them? The accountability system focuses on trends and sustained progress rather than isolated results. Oh, that says class of 2025, right? What does this say for Newburgh Free Academy? What's that increase? What's that say? 76. Okay. So this gives schools credit for consistent, I'm gonna say that again, consistent improvement and ensures accountability decisions are based on stable, reliable data that truly reflect the work that is happening in the building. So in short, the 2-year graduation review is designed to support schools, acknowledge growth over time, and ensure accountability decisions are grounded in fairness and context. That said, we have an increase in our graduation rate by 4%. Come on, Newburgh Free Academy. Y'all should stand up for that. That is the work getting done. Not only did the graduation rate increase, but the Regents diplomas increased by 7%. Thank you. So again, we do have some work to do. And with that being said, there will be a public hearing regarding South Middle School on February 25th at 6 p.m. at South Middle School. Questions?
Just want to first say thank you. You did this lots of justice. We had an opportunity to go around to the schools individually this past week. Notice this was not up at the board meeting because we wanted everyone to be as surprised as you are now. We are super, super proud of you. You know, one of the things that we said in the meetings at NFA Maine, we know that this is a collective pre-K-12 to get here. We understand the hard work and the dedication, and we are so proud of your commitment, your dedication, and we know that Newburgh is on the rise. So we are going to continue to push forward. Imagine when we first arrived, we had 7 buildings in the accountability system, and come September 1st, we only have 2. And I was sent something by the board president last week, and I think we're in that moment. Okay.
The moment comes from lessons learned from Apollo 13 back in 1970. But one of the quotes from the movie, while someone was saying this is going to be our darkest hour, thinking that the ship may not make it back to Earth, the person in charge said, "I beg to differ, sir. I think this will be our finest hour." And I believe that fully. So
Right.
we're entering the finest hour we've ever had in this school district.
Yes.
Ms. Peterson.
I know that there'll be some that'll say, wow, you guys are really celebrating 4%. And as a person that spent my career in secondary, 4% represents around 45 to 50 students. So that's 45 to 50 students' life. And to me, that is a huge, huge accomplishment for students to be able to graduate with a Regents diploma. I mean, with a diploma, a high school diploma. And for the increase in the Regents diploma gives our students one step closer to being prepared for post-high school. So that is a huge, huge deal. You guys know throughout my time here, I spent a lot of time in the data. And, you know, one of our principals, Mrs. Marcia, she said, Onyx, I had to get out my calculator a couple times because I didn't believe my math. And that came from a lot of hard work, a lot of remaining focus in all of the different things that were occurring in this district. Our school improvement team stayed focused on instruction. And we know that there's a lot of work to still be done, but there's sometimes we have to pause and say, you know what, we have been focused and we are moving in the right direction. Nothing occurs overnight. And I'm just, thankful that, we're able to celebrate in this way.
Dr. Manning.
I actually want to coin one of the principals who said, Ms. Marshall, said, pick your head up.
She didn't believe us when we told her.
She said, I've worked in school improvement all across the state. This is not something that actually happens. We were all in the room. She said, this is a big deal, right? Because, normally 1 or 2 schools get off, but to see that we were able to remove 5 buildings really is a big deal. So thank you all. This is great. I'm so proud to sit here as a superintendent. This is more to come. Thank you.
Mr. Levinstein.
So, on behalf of most of the board members, I want to say thank you to all the people that made this happen, the teachers, the assistants, the administrators, everyone involved in this. And I did one comment I'm going to make. I find it sad that not all board members would be encouraged with this news or support the district or clap for all our employees. It's kind of strange, but I will want to make up for it that the board members really support the work that you guys do. Thank you very much.
Mr. Howard, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to dovetail on my colleague, Mr. Levinstein. This is an incredible moment. I mean, we sit here, and for us to be here to celebrate our administrators, our teachers, our teacher assistants, our students, our security staffs, our custodial staff, everybody that is a part of what we do in the Newburgh and Lawrence City School District. We've taken so many punches. We've taken so much negative narrative. And to hear this great news, yes, it's going to get better. But to hear this news is just something that hits to my core. Because this is about, when you said that 4%, that's 45 students that aren't left on the sidelines. That's 45 students that got across Academy Field to get their diplomas, to become positive citizens in our communities. This is about the work. This is about the work that we're engaged in. And I just want to say to the principals, the teachers, everybody who's here tonight, and everybody who's listening or watching on on YouTube, this is what Newburgh is about. This is what we are about, making better outcomes for our kids, for our students, for our communities. And if you don't have the wherewithal to celebrate this, that tells me a lot about you, because it's never really been about the kids. Because if it's about the children, if it's about our scholars, if it's about our students, this was incredible news. Thank you very much.
There is one thing I'd like to say, which is Don Fuchek, thank you. Thank you for just keeping the accountability in the forefront. We had to wait, but sometimes, good things come to those who wait. This is an amazing thing.
While we're applauding, I don't want us to forget the CSEA employees who ensure that our schools are safe, students are fed, and they feel secure and celebrated. That's a part of a welcome and affirming environment. So, all together, thank you very much. Good job. Good job, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Mack. Excellent.
Thank you. Finally, I present items 6.3 and 6.6 for the board's consideration.
All right, item 6.3, resolution to authorize the board president to execute the district comprehensive improvement plan. Get a motion and a second, please.
Second.
Comments, questions, discussion?
Roll call. Ms. Boucher?
Yes.
Mr. Bergarelli?
Yes.
Ms. Burks?
Yes.
Mr. Duray?
Yes.
Mr. Howard?
Yes.
Mr. Levinstein?
Yes.
Ms. Politi?
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello? Ms. Thomasina Bello?
Yes.
Thank you. Moving to 6.4, resolution to authorize the board president to execute the school comprehensive education plans by consent. Get a motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Discussion on these items? Go ahead, sir.
Mr. Bergarelli?
Yes.
Ms. Burks?
Yes.
Mr. Duray?
Yes.
Mr. Howard?
Yes.
Mr. Levinstein?
Yes.
Ms. Politi?
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello?
Yes.
Ms. Thomasina Bello?
Yes.
Ms. Boucher?
Yes.
Thank you. 6.5, resolution to authorize the superintendent to execute agreement with Care Security Systems. Motion and a second, please.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion on item 6.5. Go ahead, sir.
Ms. Burks?
Yes.
Mr. Duray?
Yes.
Mr. Howard?
Yes.
Mr. Levinstein?
Yes.
Ms. Politi?
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello?
Yes.
Ms. Thomasina Bello?
Yes.
Ms. Boucher?
Yes.
Mr. Bergarelli?
Yes.
Thank you. Item 6.6, resolution to authorize the superintendent to execute agreement with A1 Communication Systems. Get a motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on this item? No, sir.
Mr. Duray?
Yes.
Mr. Howard? Mr. Levinstein?
Yes.
Ms. Politi?
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello?
Yes.
Ms. Thomasina Bello?
Yes.
Ms. Boucher?
Yes.
Mr. Bergarelli?
Yes.
Ms. Burks?
Yes.
Thank you. That concludes the superintendent's section. Thank you, Dr. Manning.
Thank you very much.
Moving on to item 7, student board member. Tonight we have Tina Wang to give us a student board member update.
Hi, good evening all. Tonight's update will be brief due to our recent return from Regents break, meaning no slide presentation for tonight, but expect them to return next time you see me. Student activity picked up later in the week on Thursday as NFA students volunteered at our quarterly blood drives to help supply the national blood shortage. We welcomed Goldback alumni as they visited to donate blood and volunteer alongside current students, a testament to how our schools foster bonds, community, and service that persist beyond graduation. I'm sure many have heard of it by now, but Friday, students took to the streets in a sweeping demonstration of civil engagement. Organized independently from our schools was a walkout as part of larger nationwide protests. Through the prompt response of our administrators, participating students felt acknowledged and encouraged to practice their civil liberties, as well as reminded to prioritize their safety. I'm also hearing that the deputy city manager gave these students his official excuse note, so if, schools want to reconsider absences, I'm like kind of kidding, but if you're open to it, I'm representing them, right? On behalf of the participating students, thank you to the adults who make sure their students are safe, and thank you for giving us space to both explore and interact with our world. And with that, I conclude the student update. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Wayne. We're moving to item 8, Clerk of the Board.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have the approval of the minutes from January 28th.
Thank you. Get a motion and a second on approval of the minutes? So moved. Second. Thank you. Discussion on this item?
Roll call, Mr. Howard,
Yes.
Mr. Levinstein, Ms. Politi,
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello,
Yes.
Ms. Thomasina Bello,
Abstain.
Ms. Boucher,
Yes.
Mr. Bergarelli,
Yes.
Ms. Burks,
Yes.
Mr. Duray.
Yes.
That concludes my items, Mr. President.
Thank you. Item 9, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, Ms. Holder, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. President. I have items 9.1 to 9.11 on the agenda for your consent.
Thank you. 9.1 to 9.11, would anybody like to separate out any items? Okay. Get a motion and a second on 9.1 to 9.11.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Levinstein.
Ms. Holder, is the following an accurate description of the Human Resources agenda being presented tonight? HR agenda items A through G, including appointment, change of statuses, leave of absences, resignations, retirements, extend a probationary period, supplemental memorandum of agreement between the district and the CSEA, create a part-time tax cashier position, and approve the following appointments. Approve school leadership teams, home teacher appointments, 21st Century after-school appointments funded by 21st Century Grant, after-school elementary literacy and numeracy appointments funded by Federal Challenge Grant, English Language Learners Saturday Academy appointments funded by Title III, strengthening family appointments funded by McKinney-Vento, Horizon Project Student Engagement After-School Support, funded by McKinney-Vento. Ms. Holder, is this correct?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion on 9.1 to 9.11?
Mr. Levinstein,
Yes.
Ms. Politi,
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello,
Yes.
Ms. Thomasina Bello,
Yes.
Ms. Boucher,
Yes.
Mr. Bergarelli,
Yes.
Ms. Burks,
Yes.
Mr. Duray,
Yes.
Mr. Howard.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Holder. Moving on to item 10, Assistant Superintendent of Finance, Ms. Roaring, good evening.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Finance Division presents items 10.1 to 10.12 for your consideration on consent.
Thank you. Get a motion and a second on 10.1 to 10. Would anybody like to separate out any items, 10.1 to 10.12? Okay. Get a motion and a second on 10.1 to 10.12.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion on any of these items? Mr. Levinstein, go ahead, please.
I just have one question, please. On 10.3, which is about transfers, and it looks like we're transferring $400,000 for teaching assistants and support staff, special ed, to substitute teaching assistants and substitute support staff, special ed. So is this transfer from regular positions to substitutes, and is it because of absences or vacancies that might create this need?
So it is a transfer from a salary line into a substitute line, and that is attributable to vacancies that we have in those positions.
Thank you.
Any further discussion, 10.1 to 10.12? Go ahead, sir.
Ms. Politi,
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello,
Yes.
Ms. Thomasina Bello.
Yes.
Ms. Boucher.
Yes.
Mr. Bergarelli.
Yes.
Ms. Burks.
Yes.
Mr. Duray.
Yes.
Mr. Howard.
Yes.
Mr. Levinstein.
Yes.
Thank you. That concludes my items.
Thank you, Ms. Roy. Item 11, Assistant Superintendent, CIO, DPO. Good evening, Mr. McGrath.
Good evening, Mr. President. The Department of Technology and Data presents for the board's consideration on consent items 11.1 through 11.6.
Thank you. Would anybody like to separate out any of these items? Get a motion and a second on 11.1 to 11.6.
So moved.
Second.
Dr. Sutton. Okay. Any discussion?
Ms. Christine Bello.
Yes.
Thomasina Bello.
Yes.
Ms. Boucher.
Yes.
Mr. Bergarelli.
Yes.
Ms. Burks.
Yes.
Mr. Duray.
Yes.
Mr. Howard.
Yes.
Mr. Levinstein.
Yes.
Ms. Politi.
Yes.
Thank you. This concludes my items.
Thank you, Mr. McGrath. Item 12, Assistant Superintendent, C&I. Dr. Soto, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. President. Our division presents agenda items 12.1, 12.2, and 12.3 for the board's consideration on consent.
Thank you. Would anyone like to separate out any of these items? Get a motion and a second then on 12.1 to 12.3.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on these items? Go ahead, sir.
Ms. Thomasina Bello.
Yes.
Ms. Boucher.
Yes.
Mr. Bergarelli.
Yes.
Ms. Burks.
Yes.
Mr. Duray.
Yes.
Mr. Howard. Mr. Levinstein.
Yes.
Ms. Politi.
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello.
Yes.
Thank you. That concludes our items for this evening.
Thank you, Dr. Soto. Item 13, Assistant Superintendent of Exceptional Learners, Ms. McKitty Bromley. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. President. The Division of Exceptional Learners presents items 13.1, 13.2 for your consent and consideration.
Thank you. Would anyone like to separate out 13.1 or 13.2? Get a motion and a second on 13.1 and 13.2.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion on either item? Go ahead, sir.
Ms. Boucher.
Yes.
Mr. Bergarelli.
Yes.
Ms. Burks.
Yes.
Mr. Duray.
Yes.
Mr. Howard.
Yes.
Mr. Levinstein.
Yes.
Ms. Politi.
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello.
Yes.
Ms. Thomasina Bello.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Item 15, adjourning the meeting. Get a motion and a second to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Go ahead, sir.
Mr. Bergarelli.
Yes.
Ms. Burks.
Yes.
Mr. Duray. Mr. Howard. Mr. Levinstein.
Yes.
Ms. Politi.
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello. Ms. Thomasina Bello.
Yes.
Ms. Boucher.
Yes.